number 9, Brent Sass. They've sponsored Northern Lights Resort and Spa. This year is the second place finisher in the Yukon Quest. Looking good, buddy. Welcome to Whitehorse.
Oh my God, I'm dead. Oh, it's got a dog. It's got a dog. Hopefully I didn't lose anything on the way. Thank you. I spent time with you in Boston last year. Oh yeah, yep. Good to see you too. I'm happy to be here. How you doing, bud? Good. Really good now that I'm here. It was, yeah, wonderful. Until about 10 miles ago, and then it kind of went a little bit challenging. But we made it.
Welcome to Whitehorse. Great run in. Just tell us a little bit about that last 100 miles into town and how it went for you.
Oh, it was awesome until about 10 miles ago. As soon as we turned onto the Yukon, it got a little bit more treacherous. But yeah, I had a great run. Dogs looked really good, and we were moving good. And once we got to the Takini, and ran into my friend that biked all the way from Fairbanks, which was really cool ending to the race. And then we hit the Yukon, and the trail got a little punchy. I had loaded Neon a little earlier because he couldn't keep up with the speed because he doesn't like the heat, and I figured, oh, I'll just put him in the sled. This is a nice hard trail. It won't be a big deal. And then we hit the Yukon. It was kind of side hill, and the dog slowed way down, and then I just had to play like psychologist and cheerleader and all of the above. But these dogs, it's awesome. I got 2 in there that this is their first 1,000-miler. 2 in there, this is their first 1,000-miler from this direction, only their second 1,000-miler, and yeah, super proud of the team. We had one hell of an adventure, and they did very well.
Any particular dog standing out in terms of performance?
Oh, well, yeah. The 2 leaders up there, Celia and Sound, they led every step of the way, every single mile. And Celia never had a slack tug. She never flailed at all. It was amazing. She held it together. It was, yeah, no words to describe how proud I am of her and all the dogs, but she definitely was the captain.
Right on, man. Congrats.
Yeah.
We've got a bunch of people here that want to ask you some questions.
Brent, congratulations, Marcel with the Whitehorse Star. You were a favorite to repeat, so is it a little bit disappointing coming in second, or how would you sort of describe your feelings here?
It's not disappointing at all. I mean, yeah, of course I would have loved a repeat, but I'm real proud of my dogs. This was probably my hardest race out of 10. This is my 10th quest, and we had a crazy season, losing my main leader, Basin, and that was pretty difficult going into the race, and the dogs came into the race really sick already, and we dealt with a lot of issues, and we overcame them. And in the end, if I said I was disappointed in anything that happened in this race, it would be foolish. And my good buddy Hugh won, so that's a good thing. So proud of him. He's not here anymore, but he was here. And he's got an amazing dog team. You know, there's no doubt about it, and it's never all that bad to lose to an amazing dog team if you have to lose anybody. So yeah, of course I would have loved to repeat, but I got 30 more years of this in me, so it'll happen again.
Tim Kaczerko from The Rush. Brent, you just mentioned you're already planning your next year's game plan on the way in. Would you, in retrospect now, have done anything a little bit differently?
Oh, this race was my plan changed every 5 minutes. I had to be really reactionary with my planning with this because of the issues that I was running into, and then I got really sick in the middle of it as well, and so I wouldn't do anything differently. I changed a lot of things around. I didn't do basically the first 150 miles I was on a schedule, and after that I was just reacting to what was happening on the trail with myself, not with my opponents. there's a lot of things I wish I could have done differently, but with the conditions of myself and the dogs, I had to play it how we did, and I feel like I did a really good job of overcoming those obstacles. And my buddy Josh, also, thank you, was a big hand in helping me figure some stuff out in Dawson and sort of revamp my schedule so that we would be able to get here with these dogs in second place. I mean, that makes me cry, just second place. I can't believe that we're here in second place with how challenging. And this was the easiest quest as far as trail and weather I've ever run, by far. But it was just all the other obstacles that it threw at me this year that was the reason it became a challenge. So that's what I was doing out there.
You had a broken sled handle by Scroggy Creek, I believe. But for those who aren't familiar and haven't heard the story yet, how did that happen? And were you literally driving with one handlebar, one hand? Can you describe that?
Yeah, I just blown through Scroggy Creek. We just put some straw on the sled, and it had been getting a little fatigued. I had noticed it earlier, and just from wear and tear, I used the same sled for everything for the last 4 years, and I'm really hard on stuff. And but I have the best dog sled on the planet. But things wear out eventually, and I was just leaning back and tight trail, windy trail, and the one side of the handlebar gave loose, and I went flying back on my back. And luckily was able to get up and sprint and do like a Superman dive and grab the back runners. And we had just stopped. They were moving, but obviously I could catch up and run with them. So I had to stop real quick and do like a real fast, quick fix with a hose clamp and some electrical tape, and then just try to drive with the one side for the next 30 miles. And then when I got to the place I was going to camp, I sort of fixed it the way it is now, and it works good. It doesn't steer. That was part of my problem out here on the Yukon, is that it's all lopsided now because it's not in the same place. So that made it a little more difficult for the rest of the race. But most of the challenging driving was over, so it didn't really affect me too much.